when is that going to, when is like Normie Street going to be able to do in-kind redemption? Is that coming? Is that a long way off?
I think it's a long way off, but it is a great idea. I love it. I think what you'll see is someone like a big brokerage firm like Fidelity will cut a deal with the authorized participants and or the ETFs themselves to sort of package up a bunch of in-kind create or redeem requests into sort of one basket and sort of like aggregate out. Like it's not really that retail can't. It's that it's the APs themselves that do the creates and redeems that can. And but like you can, if you are big enough and to go to an AP and have them take your call, you could deliver them Bitcoin in kind and have them create like a Bitcoin ETF share out of it. And so it's
Is
more of
that
a,
true today that you could do that?
I think so, yeah.
Huh.
And that's going to do some interesting things. It's going to compress fees. It is cheaper for a lot of people that have a lot of Bitcoin not to sell it. It's also got big tax consequences, we think. We believe, and I'm not an expert in this niche part of tax law, but we looked into this last week. Pretty sure if you create security ETF shares and with the in-kind securities, that cost basis carries. So you could imagine, let's say you're a big dealer in Bitcoin or you're a whale and you have access to the sort of crypto native APs, right? Like the Virtus and the Flowdesks and the Cumberlands, right? I mean, I don't think you're going to see JPM be doing, they're an AP on a couple of these and like see them doing in-kind create redeems soon. Maybe you will, but there are some that are absolutely set up to do it. And they are going to have, a big party that wants to maintain cost basis is going to have, could have a benefit. You could decide, you know what? I want to do some options trading, but for one reason or another, or some lending, but for one reason or another, rather than using sort of like more crypto native options like a Deribit or something for the options or a lending desk, you perhaps want to trade the options on the ETF shares or use margin accounts at prime brokerages for the lending, and you might be able to move in between them. The other point I would make is a lot of people think this is just like obvious. It's really not that complicated. It should have been allowed. It probably wasn't allowed because it disadvantages the banks specifically, right? The banks at the time in particular in 2024 were not able to touch crypto. Banks, broker dealers, all these types of entities, they hadn't, where the SEC hadn't done the work or had intentionally not done the work to allow broker dealers to do rulemaking around how broker dealers are supposed to touch Bitcoin and Ether, and they still can't today.